I'm just going to talk a little bit now about the farm biosecurity and biosecurity officers. And first one, I thought, as some of you are aware, ABARES was held the first week of March. And as much as I'd like to take credit for all these people on the photograph, I possibly can't. But I'll explain to you a couple of things. AHA and PHA developed an award within the ABARES process, within the Australian Biosecurity Awards, for those producers that did an exemplary job on-farm biosecurity. We went out and advertised. We got some applicants in. We were broadly anticipating that we'd get one animal producer and one plant producer, but this time it turned out to be two plant producers, and it just turned out there happened to be two banana producers. And if you think about the issues the banana industry has had to tackle over the last few years, it's not surprising that there are some very good examples of individuals and businesses that have done a very good job in improving and implementing their biosecurity practices on farm. So the first two individuals on the left of your slide are the Mackays from Tully. Although Tully's had a very bad run with TR4, the Mackays have been running a very good biosecurity process on their farm for several years, and they perform very well, and I think they certainly deserve the award for years of commitment. Alan and Julianne from Rum Jungle, the next two people you'll see there, have been caught up in the banana freckle response in Northern Territory. So they, as part of that response plan, lost all of their bananas. They did have quite a reasonable biosecurity system in place, but during the process of making sure their place was clean of bananas and replanting, they've set up improved biosecurity systems again, and they're actually harvesting, I think, their next crop of bananas now, which I think is pretty good. So again, having two banana growers in different situations that have done things in response to significant incidents, I think is very, very good. Barry Large, Barry Large is on the stream right thing, but Barry's there picking up an award on behalf of the Grains Farm Biosecurity Program. This received an award from the federal government. This is the longest running on-farm biosecurity extension program, if you like. It was established about 10 or 11 years ago. It's been expanded to 6 biosecurity officers. Jim Moran's there in the middle next to me. Jim's a biosecurity officer in the Grains Program for Victoria. And I think that was a great recognition of a program that's basically industry funded. We do get some support from the various state governments, which are Queensland, New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia and Western Australia. And that program is looking very strong, and we're looking to improve it again over the next few years, which is excellent. Other fellow there, and we all know John McDonald from Nursery and Garden Industry. I think it's fantastic to see individuals and industries recognised for the effort they've put in, and no doubt that John's effort in promoting, guiding, harassing, driving the Biosecure HACCP program for production nurseries has been terrific. And I think what we probably don't recognise yet is the benefit of John's program in nursery production to the rest of agriculture in Australia might be very, very important, particularly in terms of governments accepting third-party certifications. And this will be interesting to see how this progresses in the next few years. But the important thing to see this is about a whole heap of PHA members and industry parties being recognised for their effort in biosecurity. So we were very proud of that. So just on the Farm Biosecurity Program, as I said, it's a joint program with AHA. We ran this activity through the ABARES program, and I think that works very well, and we'll do it again next year. We have had a number of reviews on this program in the last few years, and one of the more obvious things, I suppose, that came up was this idea of utilising strategic influences more. We've been talking about how to manage crop consultants, how to get them more involved in plant biosecurity activities, certainly not only perhaps in surveillance, but also in promoting biosecurity practice on farm. So one of the things we want to do is expand the Farm Biosecurity Program a bit to actually broaden the scope to those people that we're engaging with. It won't actually change the focus of it away from adoption of on-farm biosecurity practice, but we'll just be looking at perhaps a different audience and getting other people to actually assist us in that delivery of the program. We do have a number of levy-funded programs, and a lot of you will be familiar with these. We've recently employed somebody to actually drive some of these programs, and that's Stuart Kern. Stuart's had several years at GRDC, principally in the extension role. He'll be working with Sharon Abrams in the Farm Biosecurity program, but certainly he'll also be driving the grains, the vegetable, potato, and the melon programs we have. There are a number of other memorandums of understanding we have with a number of industries, and these drive a number of activities in biosecurity with those industries, not necessarily always limited to farm biosecurity or biosecurity officers, but individuals that can assist industry manage and communicate their biosecurity activities, as well as other things. For example, nursery and garden industry are doing some work in developing a number of training videos related to biosecure hazard. We run most of these programs through the partnerships group of the business. That's if you look at those key result areas. But one difference is the National Bee Biosecurity Program, which is also linked to a number of other R&D programs. So we've left that in the preparedness area. We currently have a number of bee biosecurity officers established, which is really good. We're currently looking for a manager to, again, give that program some focus and drive. And of course, we're involved in a number of discussions with other industry parties to establish either PHA or EPPR levies, and certainly to look forward to how industries might want to utilise some of those funding to improve their biosecurity activities. And I presume there are no questions? Excellent.